Why are we here on the floor of the House of Representatives listening to the Democrats and socialists and their Republican puppets reviewing Steve Bannon's podcast?
Matt Gaetz, a vocal and controversial figure in American politics, has become a focal point of intense scrutiny due to allegations of serious misconduct. As a staunch ally of former President Donald Trump and a prominent Republican congressman from Florida, Gaetz's legal troubles have not only cast a shadow over his political career, but also raised broader questions about ethics, accountability, and the dynamics of power within Congress. The allegations against Gaetz are particularly damning. They include accusations of attempting to engage in sexual relations with underage girls and participating in parties where illicit drugs and sexual activities allegedly took place. These claims first emerged publicly, prompting swift reactions from both his supporters and critics alike. The seriousness of these allegations necessitated investigations by multiple authorities, including the Justice Department and the House Ethics Committee. The timeline of events reveals a complex web of legal proceedings and political maneuvering. The initial investigation into Gaetz reportedly began under the Trump administration, underscoring the bipartisan nature of the scrutiny he faces. Despite the transition to the Biden administration, the investigations continued, highlighting the persistent nature of the allegations and the commitment of authorities to uncover the truth. Central to these investigations is Joel Greenberg, Gaetz's former associate and a key cooperating witness. Greenberg's cooperation with federal authorities, despite his own legal troubles, provided critical insights into Gaetz's activities and associations. However, Greenberg's credibility has been a significant point of contention, given his admission of guilt to various charges, including sex trafficking of a minor. The House Ethics Committee, operating under its own set of rules and standards, launched a parallel inquiry into Gaetz's conduct. This committee, composed of bipartisan members, conducted a thorough examination that involved interviewing numerous witnesses, issuing subpoenas for documents and records, and meticulously reviewing the evidence at hand. While certain allegations related to financial improprieties were not pursued, the committee focused on allegations of sexual misconduct, drug use, and potential obstruction of justice. Throughout the investigations, Gaetz vehemently maintained his innocence, portraying himself as a victim of political persecution and characterizing the allegations against him as baseless attacks intended to tarnish his reputation. His staunch denials and defiant stance in the face of mounting legal challenges underscored the high stakes involved and the potential ramifications for his political future. The legal landscape surrounding Gaetz's case was further shaped by the Justice Department's decision in 2023 not to pursue criminal charges against him. This decision, based on the department's assessment of the available evidence and the high burden of proof required for criminal convictions, marked a significant development in the ongoing saga. While Gaetz celebrated the DOJ's decision as exoneration, critics pointed to the House Ethics Committee's continued scrutiny as evidence that questions still lingered about his conduct. The House Ethics Committee, unlike federal prosecutors, focuses on ethical violations rather than criminal culpability. This distinction allowed the committee to pursue its investigation independently, unencumbered by the standards and limitations of criminal law. The committee's persistence in investigating allegations of ethical misconduct, including potential breaches of congressional standards of conduct, underscored its role in upholding the integrity of Congress and ensuring public trust in elected officials.
Professional influence peddlers are hired and given prosecuting authorities?
Well, the hiring of assistant U.S. attorneys is this is a career hire made in the different U.S. attorneys' offices.
In Washington at DOJ, are there any special procedures that vet lobbying contracts or maybe who a lobbyist worked for before they're given prosecutorial authority?
The ramifications of Gaetz's case extended beyond individual accountability, sparking broader debates on ethics in government, congressional oversight, and the responsibilities of elected representatives. The case prompted reflection on the mechanisms of accountability within Congress and the challenges of maintaining public trust amidst allegations of misconduct. According to the sources Proers, they don't have to have a belief. They can get conviction beyond a reasonable doubt because it is not a criminal case. There's no jail time there, so they just have to show that Matt Gaetz engaged in improper conduct, and then they can vote him out. One woman, whom ABC News has not identified, told the committee that a payment from Gaetz was for sex. Others have said they were paid to attend parties that Gaetz also attended, which featured drugs and sex. Multiple sources told ABC News Gaetz has consistently denied all the allegations, including paying for sex, and previously dismissed them by claiming someone is trying to recategorize my generosity to ex-girlfriends as something more untoward. The Justice Department informed Gaetz in 2023 that it was declining to bring charges against him after its years-long investigation. The House Ethics Committee declined to comment. Florida. Attorney Joel Leopard of Leopard Law confirmed his client was cooperating with the committee, but declined to comment further. They got him out too. Now, Kevin McCarthy found a Republican to run against Matt Gaetz in the primary that's coming up in August in a very red district in the Panhandle. But this Republican, doesn't look like he has a great chance. The committee subpoenaed the Justice Department earlier this year for records related to its investigation into the Florida congressman, but the department has resisted turning over the information, sources said. However, the committee has obtained Gaetz's Venmo records after issuing a subpoena to the company, sources tell ABC News. During the Dodge investigation into Gaetz, public reporting, including by the Daily Beast, largely focused on Venmo records from Greenberg, who, according to his plea agreement, used his account to pay for commercial sex acts with women he also introduced to others. The committee's acquisition of Gaetz's records, which ABC News has not seen, could help provide congressional investigators with a roadmap for payments the Congress may have made while he was friends with Greenberg, according to the Associated Press. The committee said its review now includes whether Gaetz engaged in sexual misconduct and illicit drug use, accepted improper gifts, and sought to obstruct government investigations of his conduct. On Tuesday, the House Ethics Committee provided an update on its investigation into Gaetz. In a new statement, the committee detailed that after speaking with over a dozen witnesses, issuing 25 subpoenas, and reviewing thousands of documents, the bipartisan panel will continue to review allegations that the Florida congressman engaged in sexual misconduct and illicit drug use and sought to obstruct government investigations of his conduct. The committee also noted that it will no longer pursue allegations that Gaetz may have shared inappropriate images or videos on the House floor, misused state identification records, converted campaign funds to personal use, and or accepted a bribe or improper gratuity. They don't play by the same rules as federal prosecutors. You don't have to have an underlying crime to get someone on obstruction, so it's game on. Now, according to the Associated Press, the committee also announced that it was no longer reviewing 4 other allegations involving the congressman. When reached for comment, Gaetz communications director referred ABC News to the congressman's social media post on Monday, where he called the House Ethics Committee Soviet and stated that every investigation into me ends the same way, my exoneration. Greenberg is currently serving an 11-year prison sentence after pleading guilty to multiple federal crimes, including the sex trafficking of a minor. He admitted to introducing her to other adult men who also had sex with her when she was underage. Justice Department investigators spent years examining whether Gaetz was one of the men Greenberg introduced, the minor or 2, before deciding not to pursue charges against Gaetz. In 2023, Washington Post the update was. In conclusion, the ongoing scrutiny surrounding Matt Gaetz represents a microcosm of larger issue within American politics ethics, accountability, and the complexities of navigating legal and politic landscapes.